Hello and welcome. This is Bruce's Best walk around from Harrison's Auction Centre, and we're going to pick a few pieces out that are particularly good in the auction for the 9th of November. Okay, now then, this piece is a carved stone, looks like a sedimentary stone. But it's Chinese, and it's a Chinese seal. You see this on the bottom. Now that would be put onto like a ink pad and then stamped on official documents. Now you'll note that this is very fine, so this only goes on an ink pad. It doesn't go onto wax or anything like that, and that is the Emperor's impression of the Emperor with his name on the bottom, so it's an official stamp from the Chinese government going back probably 200 years. Right, now coming along now, we've got some war memorabilia you can have a look at. There's medals, a knife, which comes from Sheffield, but it's got all sorts of bits on. The Swiss thought they come up with the first Swiss Army knife, but in actual fact we did, Sheffield art people. And then we've got the dagger there from the war period as well. Now then, walking around here, we've got a very nice print, and it is a print, but it is a limited edition from a Tabitha salmon. Now they're quite collectible and they've always got weird names to them, but that's rather a fine example and nicely framed as well. This one, an old Victorian picture. It's not from the actual period of this, but this is the order of release. So he's being let out of jail for whatever he did. Now you can see his army, and it looks like, I think, the Black Watch. So for what he did wrong, I don't know. Nice oil painting there, signed. Now coming along now, we've got a collection of brass items. Now always when you look for these stuff, most of this is quite modern, but you do have some nice little bits in it as well. Now you've got a piece there, which is a candle holder. Put a candle in that, display it, looks really funky. Old pots, board games, James Bond, that's a complete collection of James Bond, old cars, book and pieces with it as well. Now this one is a photo album, and it looks about, I would say, just pre-war, pre-First World War that is. This guy is definitely, with his white uniform, is probably India or Africa, Boer region. We've got some nice sedimentary stone carvings, very modern. And I forgot to mention, of course, this is the general sale. So we're not selling generals, we're selling the general sale, and it also has some antiques in. See, now this is quite a bit of a coin collection. I should think that some of those are silver. That one definitely is. I haven't looked and researched that one, but we'll have to do that in a minute. And there we are, a nice scrapbook. Now this is a kiddie's scrapbook, but this would go back to about 1900 and then added to. But it's, people find these collectibles. Oh, this bit, that is Aboriginal art, Australia, and it's actually a singing stick. Now you swing that around at bit of a rate, and it makes a whoomp 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 like a humming sound, and you can speak to the people a couple of mile away. There we are, and now we're carrying on. Nice African drum, skin's in good order, which is always good. Oh, bit of hand carving on that. Some nice, that's the couple of Muranos, I think, those vases, but you can see that the difference in them is because they're handmade, and they're never made exactly like that. Now this one's my old favourite because I had one of these when I was a kid. What it is a Popgun, right? And you put a cork in the end. Well, we used to use all sorts, bits of mud and everything, but boom, there you go. And you're shooting at your mates, but you're not going to do them any harm. That's it. Nice couple of chairs there. Ah, now then, this piece, these two pieces, as I said, we have antiques in this auction. Now, this is reputed to have come off the wall of Beethoven's house in Vienna. Now, it's a cartoon which were very, very popular around that period. And it's written on here, I can't read it because it's in probably, well, it'd be Austrian, wouldn't it? And but it gives a little note there of provenance with it, and that would have been very early, so that's worth a few bob. And it comes with this Scottish soldier in his dress. Now I'm not sure, but looking at the rifle, that's pretty old. Now then, all sorts of bits and pieces. Now then, I'd just like to show you this, see? Look at that, set of traffic lights, all lit up, ready to go. So, these are for a man cave. Women won't like them at all, they're too heavy, they're too nasty, and they're too bright. But that is for your man cave. And what nicer things you could have. Right, okay, carrying on. We got all the usual sort of bits and pieces for a general sale. A couple of candles, these must be, out holders. They look like wine glasses, but they're candle holders. And rolls of carpet. You want some cheap carpet? Come and see me. We could carpet your old house. Now this lot here is a load of railway stuff. Alright. Now this obviously is from a railway enthusiast, a real enthusiast. He used to do all of his own repairs and everything else. Now this piece here is extremely old. Now this probably 1900s, 1910, but you put your railway bit in there, your trains go across that, but it's a set of railway gates, and these plug into your track. So that's a nice piece on its own, and there's loads of other bits to go with it. Some camera stuff, another load of carpet there. Now then, let's have a look over here. Ooh. Now this is quite nice. I don't think these are that old though. There's bells, bits and pieces. Souvenir of New York, but that's an old one. Ah, and there we are. Now that interesting piece is a button cleaner. It doesn't clean the buttons, but you can slip it underneath the buttons when you're polishing them so you don't get on your uniform. And these different holes are for different parts of the uniform. And there we are, it's equipment producer. So that would be used by the Army, Navy, RAF, doesn't matter, one of them. Oh, that's a weather station. There we are. That's a whole weather station there. with your it's rain collection, wind speed, all sorts. So that would be sort of a starter set for a child or young adult, and somebody who's really enthusiastic about weather. Now then, oh, Beeriana or Brewiana. Now these are all bar mats and things like that from different makes and brands and all sorts. Now these are quite popular and they're very collectible. Something else, man cave. Don't let the missus see that lot. That's rubbish. Loads of records, as you can see, all sorts. We do from pop right the way through to the classics. Now then, this collection here has obviously come out of a really big room because you've got wall sconces with double ends, and they wanted lots of light indeed. Now, and then you've got the matching lamps from the ceiling, a sort of a medieval copper idea or style, and they look pretty chunky and pretty heavy, so that'd have to go in quite a big room. Now then, now this Union flag, right, you see how well that's been made? That's all been stitched together. Now these are normally they're normally just printed, right, but this one has been stitched together. Now, I don't know if it's got a make on it, fortunately not, but it certainly wasn't made in China. And that's a nice piece, and it's a decent material. Right, there we go, some more railway stuff for the railway enthusiast. Add all this to your existing track. Now then, this one we have here is a dinner service, right, for Royal Albert, but it's not only Royal Albert, but this is Old Country Rose. This is the most popular and sought after one of the Royal Albert range. I should say we sell 3 of these to one of anybody else's Royal Albert stuff. Beautiful, lovely, very, very collectible. So, there we go. Yes. Now then, as I said, we do antiques. Now this is a real antique. This was a screen, a decent quality screen as well. In the days, the Victorian period, there was no television, no radio, so you made your own arrangements. Now, with this, you would go out and buy books of these pieces like this. They would come in a book, and your children would cut them all out, or you'd work with your children, and you'd be putting all your favourite pieces on there. Scottish man, you've got the dogs on there, and then you put all the favourite pieces on, and then you'd stick all these pieces over the top, and this would be to amuse the children for ages, and you end up with a very colourful screen. But this is a lovely, lovely piece. I quite fancy that myself. Oh, look, a hall cupboard. This one, people think it's a wardrobe. It's not, it's a hall cupboard. And inside, they're not there now, but inside would be hooks to hang your coats up, because the Victorians didn't have coat hangers. So you would have a nice piece like that. This is solid oak, and I should say probably about 1900, 1910. There we go. Now then, don't know if I like that. As I say, general sale as well. So we've got all these bits and pieces, a bit of modern technology, security cameras, so you can buy anything at an auction. Then we've got all of this lot here. These are mixed boxes, and you can always find what you got. You got a little angel, and there we are, piece of ladro. Now, I know a bit about ladro. This is a retired piece. So we've got that in the box, that little band of ladro. And why he's not on his up, I don't know. Ah. Now this piece is a funny looking thing, isn't it? It's Indian. Now it's not silver, it'd be silver plate or an alloy, right? But that little hole there is where you put your joss stick or incense, and then have it at an angle. When your incense burns, the ash just falls into this little dish. Now there's the final piece I'd like to show you. This is a transportable, you carry that around, piece here. Now it is actually fact an organ, right? I can't play the piano, so I certainly can't play an organ. But this is Victorian. This is the sort of thing that the Salvation Army would take around into the street with the rest of their band and play away, or you could have that in a little church service. These often got transported to Africa with the missionaries. Easy thing to transport, and they are very robust and they'll take a lot of messing about. So, and it's not very big, so you could have that in your house, couldn't you? Be lovely, that one. Now then, that's it for this week. As you can see, we've got loads of Victorian and modern pieces, and this week we've got an awful lot of dress material, just to mention. Now then, as far as the catalogue goes, that will be coming out at 4:30 on Thursday, tomorrow. Viewing all day Friday, for those that want to come around and have a look. Now, Saturday's auction is on the 9th of November. Actually at 10 o'clock, but we open at 8 for viewers to come around and have a look for a couple of hours. If you wish to bid through the internet, and you can do that from anywhere in the world, right? The address is easyliveauctions.com/Harrisons. One last bit, please, comments. We don't get any comments. We've looked through all the sites where people are advertising their auctions, and nobody ever leaves a comment. The only one I ever had was, where did I get my jacket? Well, I told him where that was. But please, comments, likes and subscribe. Ring the bell for us.